Well, in their own words, the League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan political organization which has fought since 1920 to improve our government and impact public policy through citizen education and advocacy. But don't let the 1920 number fool you. The League of Women Voters is a vibrant national organization, and nowhere more so than right here in New York City. And to prove it, they've created the Five Borough Voting Challenge. It's an initiative to get New Yorkers to the polls. Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams is in it to win it, and he joins us now. Welcome back, BP.
Thank you. Always good seeing you.
Good. And representing the League of Women Voters of the City of New York, we have Kate Doran. Thanks for being here, Kate.
Thank you very much.
And Amanda Roman is a student activist and a member of the New York Public Interest Research Group. Welcome to BK Live, Amanda.
Thank you so much.
So, okay, a meeting of the minds here. Last night there was a primary election, and primaries are traditionally not when people are really standing in line for hours to get the vote out. But some of the returns were pretty promising. There was a race in Brooklyn, particularly, that caught my eye for the state senate, your old stomping grounds,
yes.
District 25, where Velmanette Montgomery secured a win with 69% of the vote and got 10,000 votes, and her opponent got some 4,000 votes. So that's a pretty good showing in one of the districts, but we can so do better.
No, so true. And primaries are exciting. The base comes out and participate. And I just think, just to take a step back for a moment, we cannot say enough about the League of Women Voters. And when you think of the League of Women Voters, you may focus on the term women, but when you look at how many households are headed by women, it's really League of Family Voters, family issues, family concerns, not getting into the weeds of politics of what a candidate is not, but just promoting the participation in the process. And this is self-evident as now as we look today. And so really hooray for an organization. 1920 remaining relevant and able to become applicable throughout the decades. And using creativity, this competition, Brooklyn has always been the biggest and the baddest of all the boroughs. And so we are excited about this competition and showing that our people are going to be registered, come out, and participate in the process.
All right, Kate, he's opened the door. You're going to walk through that and tell us about
absolutely.
the challenge.
I mean, we are thrilled that every single one of the borough presidents is on board, and I'm honored to be sitting opposite Borough President Adams today, and thank you for those kind words. I had not heard us referred to before as the League of Family Voters, but that's perfect. That keeps us relevant. And we, as you mentioned, want everyone to get out to vote. We're not partisan. We don't encourage membership in parties, although we do encourage going out to vote in a primary.
That's right.
And we're looking to be relevant by getting as many voters registered by October 14th. That's the deadline.
That's the magic number,
right.
October 14th.
So that's
again.
the deadline for registration to vote in the November 8th big show. And you don't have to be in a party at all. Just register. You can be unaffiliated. You can register in a party if you choose to, but you should register by October 14th. We'll help you, and then get out there. Bring your friends, bring your family, encourage everybody, because it matters. It really, really matters.
So I'm looking at a number from census in 2012 that said right here in New York State, there are about 5.6 registered Democrats. That's in the millions. 5.6 million registered Democrats, 2.8 folks who go with the GOP side, and some 11.4 million just other registered voters who don't necessarily belong to a party.
Right.
So Amanda, how do you intend to activate those folks, no matter what side of the aisle they go on, to say, okay, even if you are registered, get out to the polls?
Yeah. So as you know, I'm with NYPIRG, the New York Public Interest Research Group, and we have campuses across the state. We have local chapters as well here in Brooklyn and New York City College of Technology, Brooklyn College, and also Pratt Institute. So we go around campus. By fall, we plan to register about 30,000 students to vote.
Awesome.
We also want to go ahead and let them know, the resources available for their family and friends. It's extremely important, as Kate said. October 14th is the big day, and we're just making sure that, like she said, we're nonpartisan as well. And it doesn't matter who you want to vote for. We just want to make sure your voice is heard, and that's very important to get out there and make sure you're going to do that.
How important is that nonpartisan piece of it? Because we can get very fired up depending on what tribe that you belong to, if you come down red or blue. But why is it important to keep it nonpartisan when promoting things like registration and even just showing up at the ballot?
Well, of course, it's our Bible. It's who we are. We are in the education business. We're in the facilitation business, and I think we're more trusted if we are not saying, "Well, we're out here because we want this particular person to win, or we think this party's better than another one." Right. So, for the league, that's the answer. I think it makes us more trustworthy, and we have a wonderful brand that we're very, very proud of and happy to take into the 21st century.
All right, let's leave those neutral people behind. Let's talk to the Democrat here. So New York is one of the 13 states that has closed primaries. How much of a hindrance do you think that is, if at all, on the voting process for folks who are eligible, but, you know, if it's this primary day or if you're an independent, you can't participate in the process like in some other states?
Well, I think that we need to do an examination of the entire process, and everything should be on the table, including encouraging online registration, allowing people to utilize their smartphones to register. We're meeting with a group that allows in 4 clicks you can register. So we need to look at how do we remove the walls and the barriers that prevent people from getting to the polling sites. Several days to vote. I don't believe we should have just one day. It becomes cumbersome if you have a family or if you're employed, so it becomes a challenge. The goal is to get as many people to the poll as possible, particularly young people. And I want to acknowledge what NYPIRG is doing, because many young people don't see the connection. College tuition, police reform, housing, affordable housing, the things that impact their future will be decided on the votes that they cast. And it is imperative that they get engaged in the process. We have a healthy process when everyone is engaged in the process.
Amanda, he's calling your name. So what do you think the biggest bar to young people registering, and then once that initial hump is? Because, you know, everybody wants to rock the vote, and then when you can't vote for Obama, they stay home. You know, like, what is the inertia that we have to get over to continue to engage folks so they show up for everything?
What we're trying to do is stress the fact, as he said, that it is our future, this election. And we might not think, you know, when someone gets elected, things don't happen tomorrow. And policies that are going to go through, they're going to happen within a couple of years. And that is our future, you know, like he said, when we graduate, when we try and start a family, when we're looking for, you know, jobs after graduation.
Pay back those loans.
Exactly, pay back that student debt, which is huge. So we're just trying to stress that to everyone and let them know that, you know, the issues we're going through, this election is something that's really going to, you know, take a stand on that. So that's what we're stressing.
So Bill Gates has this great quote when he's giving away all his money. He says, people always overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years. Right. So if there was an issue that you're looking down that pipeline at young people or anyone who's voting right now, what do you think that long view is that could sort of hook people to get in and vote now? They might have a burning passion now, but they say, okay, elect someone, stay on them, stay with them, and in 10 years, the landscape could be different. If there was one of those issues, what would you name it as? We have 2 mothers. One gives birth to us physically, and other is this planet, Mother Earth. I think young people are really concerned the domestic abuse that we put Mother Earth through, and how do we start the process of healing this planet, dealing with the hole in our ozone layer, making sure that we can eat healthy fruits and vegetables and provide for our families on this planet. Young people are really embracing what this planet is going to look like and who they're going to inherit to their families when they have families. All right, so go with the environment.
Yes.
Right.
Well, that's something we all share. That's no party affiliation there. So I'm going to ask you about the challenge, going back to that again. How can folks get involved, and how are we doing so far? Who's taking track of the numbers here?
Well, you folks are doing beautifully because you're bringing these issues to the public and you're asking the questions. We want the voters and citizens to pay attention, to look at what the borough president is doing and listen to what he's saying. And that would be true for all of the folks who represent them. Find out who represents you. We can help you to do that just by going to our website or phoning us. And then look for that person in the news. Look for that person on the TV and on social media and see what they're doing. Do they have concerns that mirror your own? Mm-hmm. Do you care? Pay attention. Call them up. If they're elected, they're going to pay attention.
So, Amanda, I heard some evil number about most Americans, like 30% of us can name our two senators who go to Washington. So everyone else below them on the ticket, that would be almost impossible then if 30% of us know who's representing us in federal government. So the BP is here. You know him. We see him around all the time. Right. He's one of these guys who shows up. Mm-hmm. So what advice would you have for some of his colleagues on showing up and making their presence known and engaging us when it's not election time?
Of course. I think just hearing us out, hearing the issues that we're going through, showing up as well. It's also always good to see the face there and feel a connection, a personal connection. It's really important.
And meet people where they are. I tell voters all the time, they say, don't be like every other politician. And I share with them, don't be like every other citizen. It's a partnership. We are elected to these positions. We're not the Messiah. We're not going to walk on water or part water. It's how do we do it together? We will fail together, try again together, we'll succeed together. And that partnership is important. And participation, PTA, community board, precinct council meetings, just being out there and involved. And you can't be a detached spectator in this full contact sport called life. You have to get on the field and be willing to get dirty, take some hits, get back out, and together we'll reach the goal line. Participation is the key to the process, hearing your voice.
Right. Democracy is not a spectator sport.
All right, so it's not a spectator sport. Tell us how we can get in the game, particularly as it relates to the Five Borough Voting Challenge.
We need to do all the things that Mr. Adams has said. We've got to get involved in life. We've got to join up with the PTA. Start a block association, meet up with your neighbors, find out what their concerns are, and then together perhaps approach your elected representative and find out what that person's views are on this problem that you have. You want to get your garbage collected on a different day. You want to make sure when it snows that your street's going to be plowed. Mm-hmm. You want the dangerous tree to come down. These are things that will get you engaged with your elected officials, and all of a sudden, you're in the game.
Mm-hmm. And carry around a stack of voter registration cards. Go to church.
Okay.
Register your church.
There you go.
Go to your class. Everyone in your class. College has started. Everyone in your class.
Just
pass them out, sign them, collect them, turn them into the Board of Elections. The cards are free on your way to and from your job on the train. Hand it out.
October 15th.
14th.
I'm a day late. Don't listen to me. It's misinformation. Get those voter registration cards in by October 14th. Make sure BK stays on top. More than that, vote.
That's right.
All right. Thank you all for being here.
Always good seeing you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
October 14th. Register.